of the PM 603 Enterprise Project Management course. How organizations track performance. It will be presented by Isabella Teodoro. So here we are going to talk about evaluating and controlling. That is the first step to track the performance. Although controlling seems a very obvious word when we are talking about project management, it is not performed well in most organizations. This is the manager's job to keep control over their project. This will help to keep people accountable, help them to keep the focus on the project, and therefore prevent small problems to turn into big problems. A manager needs an information system to effectively control a project. This information system needs to collect data and report progress, cost, schedule, and specifications. To measure the performance, the manager should start answering the questions. What is the current status of the project in terms of schedule and cost? How much will it cost to complete the project? When will the project be completed? Are there potential problems that need to be addressed now? What, who, and where are the causes for cost or schedule overruns? If there is a cost overrun midway in the project, can we forecast the overrun at completion? According to Larso Eric, Gray Clifford, controlling is the process of comparing actual performance against project planned to identify deviations, evaluate possible alternative courses of actions, and take appropriate corrective action. When you compare the actual project with the one planned, we can see how it has been performed. And when that part of the project doesn't happen, the manager and the team don't have any idea of how the project is actually going. It is just going without a follow up. And that's how projects that should be performed in months turned into years, and a small budget ended up being gigantic budgets. So here are 4 steps that help managers to measure a project performance. Setting a baseline plan, measuring progress and performance, comparing plan against actual, and taking actions. Here is the step number 1, setting a baseline plan. Baseline is derived from the cost and duration information found in the work breakdown structure, WBS, database and time sequence data from network and resource scheduling decisions. The baseline plan provides elements for measuring performance, meaning that you will use the information to time each phase of the project work resource budgets from the WBS and use to build the baseline for the project. Here is the step 2, measuring progress and performance. In this step, we are going to talk about time and budget of the project. It is important to understand that time and budget are quantitative measures of performance, not qualitative. So it would fit into the integrate information system. The time is easy to measure, or the activity is on time, early, or late. We can see clearly just looking at the date that should be performed and the date that's actually done. When there is late activities or new changes, it is important to understand why and if that will cause any critical activity. And then we have performance against budget. Not as simple as time, because we can't just compare actual versus budget, because we have earned value. That is the budget cost of the work performed that need to be added to be realistic. And then we have step 3, comparing plan against actual. Plans are plans and rarely happen how they are expected. Because of that, in the project, it is important to measure any difference or alteration so actions can be taken. The manager needs periodic monitoring and measure the status, so this way it's possible to compare actual with expected. When the monitoring happens frequently, it's easier to assure that deviations will be detected as early as it happens and correct if necessary. Therefore, it is necessary to make sure to have the status report every 1 to 4 weeks. And then we have the 4th step. It is taking action. In this step, as the name suggests, we look at the deviation from the plans. If they are significant, we take the corrective action to bring the project back on track as the original suggests. Also, in some cases, the scope changes, and for that, we require a change in the baseline project. And then, in conclusion, the organizations keep track of their project performance through evaluating and controlling. Controlling, although not very regular between organizations, it is very important because when they keep track of the project, the manager is able to bring the project to materialize as close as it is expected. And also, they can find the deviations and take the corrective action as early as possible, preventing small problems to turn into big problems. So, this concludes our presentation, and now you guys can have the reference used in this project. Thank you for your attention.